This video is really special. I'm going to share a big secret with you guys. This is my secret yin practice that I do whenever I feel really stuck, my energy, my body, and I just need something simple to return to, reset. Let's get started. I have 2 blocks here, but this sequence is really simple. You don't really need anything, but I always like to have a little props around just to make me feel supported, even if I don't end up needing them. So if you've got blocks, go ahead and grab them. If you don't stress about it. And let's find Shavasana. Legs long on your mat, lie all the way down onto your back. And let's make this a very intentional place. By lifting the chest, tuck your shoulder blades under your body. Then lift your hips a little and tuck your tailbone. Feel the whole back a little bit more supported. And you can bring the feet wide and just rest here. Or you can take the soles of the feet together for a supine butterfly. See what suits you. Settling into this first posture. Begin to notice the places where your body is grounding, touching the floor, the mat. And through that floor, whatever you're resting into, maybe your bed, you're connecting with the energy of the earth, grounding. Let each exhale breath weigh you down, make the body a little heavier. And let's begin to quiet the mind here. Notice the sensations of the body, where we have resistance. If you find quieting the mind to be difficult, just surrender to the chatter. Let it run out. This is your practice. In yin, usually do not ask you to breathe any specific way. I find in my yin practice, it supports me best to use a slow, deep breath. Maybe try to create that intentional breath here. Pulling your breath in through your nose. And let it out in a way that feels natural. Through the nose, a little slower, more intentional. Maybe it escapes through the mouth a little quicker. A little heavier. Allow your body to ground for 3 more rounds of intentional breath. Begin to guide the knees in together, lifting the feet, resting your knees over your chest. Cup the knees with your hands and begin to find movement right and left. Let yourself get some momentum as you rock over to one side. Find fetal pose. Then press with your top hand up to a comfortable seat. We're going to find pigeon. Bring your right shin bone parallel to the front of the mat. Then sweep your left leg around behind you, squaring the hips if it's comfortable. Maybe keeping that right shin parallel to the front, or let your right foot tuck closer to your hip. Adjust to your level of comfort, even allowing that left knee to bend if you need to modify. Once you're comfortable, take an inhale, lift your chest, peel shoulders back, then exhale as you soften out over the front leg. You can use a prop to rest your arms upon. Stay higher onto your forearms. If it feels comfortable, allow yourself to settle all the way down. And once again, bring your mind to that sensation of grounding. Where do you feel your body resting? To the mat, and thereby resting into the earth. Let it hold you, support you. Everything you've ever wanted or needed comes from the earth. Keep sending roots down, letting yourself be still, supported. Something bigger, grander than yourself. Than all of us. If you can, this is a lovely place to stimulate your vagus nerve. To do so, you can simply rest your forehead down on the mat and then slightly pull your forehead towards your leg. And what this does is it pulls a little upward, that center of the forehead, creating a little pressure. Now, if you can't comfortably rest your forehead down, you can stack your palms, put your thumb up on the top hand, and rest your weights, your forehead, right into that thumb. Slightly pull up. Try to allow the rest of your face to soften down as you gently lift through the center of your forehead and apply a little pressure. And take 5 more rounds of breath here. Finish all the way through this next exhale. And start to push into your hands, lengthening out through the spine. When you come to the top of the stretch, once again, just walk your hands a little bit to the right corner of the mat. Find a gentle twist. Keep squaring hips, left hip pulling down. Then maybe, if you want a deeper twist, you lift that back leg and catch a hold. Just take 2 or 3 breaths here. Play with the sensation. Then release it. Surround your front leg with your hands, and then lift up onto your back knee. Straightening that front leg forward until you can point your toes up. Now find your way here any way that works for your body. This is a lovely pose to use our blocks to surround the front leg. Make it easy for yourself to find the edge. To control the sensation in this pose, you draw your toes back closer towards you, flexing the foot, and push into that right heel as you peel the right hip backward, keeping a little bend in this knee. Don't lock it out. This is one variation of this posture. We call it half Hanuman. Seated splits. You can also take this posture with your hips resting on your heel, the back of the mat. You can add movement to this pose by swaying the toes right and left. Spend just a little bit more time here, lengthening through the back, that right leg, maybe through the back side of the body by lowering your head to your knee. Take 3 more rounds of breath, however you like to breathe, through the nose, maybe sighs through the mouth. And guide both hands to the inside of that right leg. Maybe wiggle the right foot out a bit. We're going to guide ourselves forward to a humble warrior. Now this is a lovely place to stay. Hands inside of the front foot. You can come in lower to even more humble warrior. Letting that right knee out, open out a little bit more to the side. Hips stay square. Pushing that left thigh down. If you want a bigger stretch for this back thigh, somewhere my hip flexors are very tight, so often I will change this pose up and make it into a corkscrew, lifting the back leg, catching the foot. And this is a little bit too yang for a yin practice, so if you have the bind, maybe use a prop like a pillow or a block. Come down onto your forearm, relax your head, and just get soft here. Lots of options, variations, room to play in this pose. Stay where you feel sensation. It's working for your body. Keep making adjustments. Notice if you can come deeper towards where you feel sensation. Or just deepen, lengthen your breath. Two or three more breaths here. And release. Coming back to tabletop. Sweep the right leg around. And very gently find a little motion in the hips here. Maybe just hands and knees. We circle the hips around. One direction or the other. Another stretch that might feel good after those deep stretches in the hips. It's just finding a down dog and walking it out a little. Give yourself 2 or 3 more breaths. Lengthen things back out. Check back in with your body. And let's move into pigeon on the left. Bring your left shin bone parallel to the front of the mat, however you want to get there. Then guide your right leg back far enough. You feel the top of the right thigh. You can modify by bending that right knee and bringing the foot closer towards the hip. You can also modify on your back with figure 4. Make it work for you. So you've got the pigeon pose that you like. Settle into it even deeper. Walking your hands out. Once again, just your level of comfort. You can always bring a prop in, a little support. Notice if your mind is still buzzing, still a little busy. Forgiving yourself, no shame, no judgment. Just gently holding your mind's hand, walking it back to your breath, observing the flow, the rise and the fall, the build and the release. Just a few more breaths. Let that sensation build, grow, evolve. And with a breath in, if you're in that traditional pigeon, walk your hands back towards your leg, and then begin to walk them a little to the left. Just pause when you find sensation. That's what we're looking for. If you like a little more, lift your back foot, catch it with your left hand. Breathing into the twist. 3 good breaths. Finishing that 3rd breath and releasing the foot. Surround your front leg with your hands and lift yourself up. That half split. Maybe using props to surround the front leg. Ease into it, be gentle. And start to check things out. Where can we create a little more length, a little more ease? Pulling the hips back, pressing into that left heel. Maybe you're a hips to heel person. You settle in. Or you keep it up high, maybe on movements. Swing the toes from the top or the bottom. Keep it yin, moving slow, mindful. Following your breath in and out. Take 3 more rounds of breath here. Exploring and changing that movement to suit you, your practice. Maybe let's take about 3 more deep breaths. A tendency to rush the left side. Give it a little more time. And from here, bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. We'll walk the hands forward, bending left knee. Find your humble warrior. Hips sink as low as is comfortable. Foot wiggles out as wide as is comfortable. Maybe your knee wants to splay a little out. Keep thinking about pulling that right hip down a bit as we stay in the stretch for the hip flexor. Remember your options. You can get lower. You can stay up to the palms. If you like a deeper stretch for that back leg, try lifting your foot for corkscrew. Keep your posture as yin-like as possible, allowing yourself to soften, to remove any muscle you don't need to use right now. Take it out of the equation by letting it release, relax. Spend just a little longer finding where you can melt into the posture. Removing as much tension as you can. And slowly release, pressing back into your palms, Releasing any binds. Bringing your left leg back around. We're in a tabletop once more. Take a little time in your table, hips shimmy, maybe circle. And from here, we're going to take a child's pose. There's a lot of lovely ways to modify this posture. So you can keep your knees close. Just push hips back. Here we are. If you want more stretch for the inner thighs, bring your knees wide before you push your hips back. Bring your big toes together. And then send your hips back. Arms stay extended forward. You should feel a slight pinching between the shoulder blades here and a softness under the armpits. If that feels a little too intense, it's not a good sensation, bring your knees back together and maybe reach your arms back towards your feet. That will take the stretch out of your shoulders. If your hips don't come very close to your heels, you can use a prop there. And similarly, if your forehead isn't resting on the mat, you can rest it on a block. Take a little time finding your favorite child's pose, then relax into it. Keep coming back to your breath, softening into sensation. I'll take 10 more breaths.
Take your time completing all 10 breaths. It's okay if you lose count, just take a few more until it feels complete. Let's start to rise back up to the table, push into your palms, lift away from your mat, and bring yourself to a comfortable seat. And let's stretch the legs out long for a seated forward fold. Bring the hands to surround the hips. And push a little bit into your palms. Sit nice and tall. Lift your chin. And with an exhale, soft knees. Lower your chest to your thighs. Keep your hands close by your knees and heavy your shoulders. Get a nice opening through your mid-upper back. Keep returning to your breath, using it to soften any amount. Maybe you have space to come in further, and maybe you don't. Either way, find acceptance, contentment, peace. Take a little longer Relaxing into your stretch. And on a breath in, start to stack your spine. Coming out slow, gradual. And from here, you'll find Shavasana coming all the way down onto your back, legs long. Might feel good to bring your knees in for a hug before you settle all the way in. A little rock across the mat. Maybe add a spinal twist, a happy baby, whatever feels right, feels comfortable. And find your way to your Shavasana, maybe a seated meditation. Letting the eyes close. Find a moment of gratitude, taking this time for your practice today. I'm grateful for you sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Take rest as long as you need it.